Welcome back to the Technology Risk Podcast. Today we're jumping straight into something really fundamental. It's becoming a huge challenge as AI adoption just explodes. I'm talking about its massive energy appetite.
It is. It's fascinating and, well, frankly, pretty pressing. AI's rapid integration isn't just reshaping how businesses work. It's driving energy demands to levels that are, really starting to strain physical infrastructure.
Yeah.
We've even seen reports, big ones like Microsoft, reportedly looking at, extraordinary steps like restarting nuclear plants just to power their AI ambitions.
That's incredible. And that kind of thing really highlights what for many has been sort of a hidden reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sheer power AI needs is immense, and that brings with it really significant environmental consequences, business consequences too, that organizations they can't ignore anymore. It's not background noise now.
No, not at all. And the numbers, when you look at them, they're pretty striking. Just think about the training phase for these complex AI models.
Right.
That alone can use as much electricity annually as hundreds of average households.
Hundreds, wow.
Scale that up across all the development happening globally, and you start to see how it's adding significantly to the increasing strain on our global energy supply.
So for this conversation, we really wanted to do two main things. First, shine a light on those environmental and operational risks tied to this AI-driven energy growth.
Yeah.
And second, maybe more importantly, explore some practical, actionable strategies. Things businesses and organizations can actually use, like right now, to manage both the environmental footprint and, the infrastructure demands that AI brings.
Yeah, understanding the challenge is absolutely critical, but finding those pathways forward, that's where the real work needs to happen.
Exactly. And just before we dive into the specifics, if you find this discussion valuable today, please do take a moment to subscribe to the Technology Risk Podcast. You can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, it really helps ensure you don't miss our future conversations navigating this complex world of tech risk.
Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers. What do these really big energy requirements actually mean for the bottom line, for infrastructure?
Well, the most immediate thing is just the rapidly increasing energy use. AI workloads, especially that large-scale machine learning that's driving so much progress, they demand extraordinary amounts of electricity.
Oh.
It's not just a small uptick. It's enough to genuinely stress the power grids we already have.
And that Microsoft example you mentioned, possibly bringing a nuclear plant back online, that's not just a quirky headline.
No.
It's a really stark signal of the scale of this demand issue right at the top level. It's forcing infrastructure decisions that, were probably unthinkable just a few years back.
Absolutely. And if you zoom out and look at the broader picture, the projections are pretty sobering. Some analyses suggest data centers, fueled a lot by these intense AI workloads, could eat up maybe 10% of global electricity by 2030.
10%, a tenth of the world's power.
Yeah.
Just for data centers.
Yeah, it's a huge number.
And that kind of consumption, it translates directly into major financial impacts for businesses, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Organizations investing in or just expanding their AI stuff.
Yeah.
They're seeing their operational energy costs climb really fast. The link between compute power and the electricity bill is just incredibly direct now.
Have we seen specific examples, like in certain sectors?
We have. We've seen reports from, say, financial institutions. They rely heavily on AI for analytics, right?
Yeah.
Some are reporting their annual electricity bills jumping by over 40%.
70%, just from adding AI workloads.
Primarily, yeah. And if you look across the board, data suggests businesses really leaning heavily into AI are seeing data center power bills jump 50, even 60% annually.
Wow.
So, if you're managing budgets or overseeing IT, these aren't just abstract figures. This means significant operational expenses going up. It hits profitability.
Right.
And it could even put actual physical limits on how much AI a company can realistically deploy or scale up unless they have a solid plan for power.
Okay, so beyond the direct costs, there are these big environmental and sustainability risks we touched on. Higher AI energy use means a bigger carbon footprint. It's pretty simple, unless, and it's a big unless, that power is coming purely from clean sources, renewables, nuclear.
Exactly. And you can see this happening. We looked at one tech firm, right? Their expansion was driven by adopting more AI.
Okay.
Their carbon emissions shot up 30% in just 1 year. And the reason? Their increased energy needs were mostly met by a grid still heavily reliant on fossil fuels.
So the grid mix really matters.
It's crucial. And the forecast is, concerning. Without major changes, global data center emissions tied to AI and cloud computing, they could surge by 300% by 2030.
A tripling in less than a decade. That's significant.
It is, and it's also putting physical strain on the infrastructure itself. The sheer concentration of energy needed for these AI data centers is stressing local power grids in areas with lots of data centers packed together.
Like Northern Virginia or Dublin?
Precisely. Those are the key examples everyone points to. Concentrated data center growth there has genuinely challenged the capacity, the reliability of the local power infrastructure.
And that strain, it's not just about, potential blackouts, is it? There are other costs.
Right. Data centers in these dense urban areas have pushed up demand so much that it's resulted in up to 25% higher grid maintenance costs in some cases.
And presumably those costs get passed on eventually.
They usually do. So for you listening, whether you're in business or just living near one of these tech hubs, this isn't just a corporate issue on a balance sheet.
Yeah.
It affects community infrastructure reliability. It could affect your future energy costs, access for everyone. It really is a shared challenge.
Okay, so we get the problem, we see the impacts, but what's actually driving this? Why is the acceleration happening now, and why is it so intense?
Well, there are really two main engines, I'd say, powering this growth. First, just the absolutely explosive rate of AI adoption itself. It's not just tech companies anymore. Almost every industry is trying to integrate AI somehow. That multiplies the total energy demand incredibly quickly.
And the numbers back that up, right? Like AI adoption growth since.
Yeah, the data shows AI adoption across industries has grown over 250% just since 2017.
250%. That's massive growth.
It is. More users, more applications. It just means vastly more computation, and so vastly more energy needed.
Okay, that's one driver. What's the second?
The second critical driver is the increasing complexity and, frankly, the sheer size of the AI models themselves and the massive data sets needed to train them.
So it's not just more AI, but bigger AI.
Exactly. And this growth isn't steady, it's exponential. Model size, training requirements, they're rocketing up. Training these larger, more capable models needs exponentially more computing power.
Right.
And therefore exponentially more energy.
Can you give an example, like one of the big models?
Sure. Think about something like GPT-4. Training a model on that scale, it required thousands of really powerful GPUs running constantly, nonstop for weeks.
Weeks. Wow.
The amount of electricity consumed just in that single training process is, well, enormous.
Is there a way to put that environmental impact into context?
There is. Some researchers estimate that the emissions generated from training just one of these advanced AI models can be equivalent to the lifetime emissions of about 5 cars.
5 cars. Their entire lifetime, just for training one model.
Yeah. It gives you a sense of the environmental weight involved in just pushing the boundaries of AI development.
So putting it together, it's not just more companies using AI, it's the type and the scale of the AI being built and rolled out that's really hitting the accelerator on energy demand.
That's it, exactly. So if that's the challenge and that's what's driving it, the really crucial question becomes, what can organizations actually do about it?
Right. Let's shift to solutions. What are some actionable strategies for, let's say, sustainable AI expansion?
Okay. Strategy 1, and maybe the most impactful long-term, is prioritizing renewable and sustainable energy sources for your AI infrastructure.
So, sourcing clean power.
Yes. Getting energy from solar, wind, other clean sources for data centers. That's key to breaking the link between AI growth and more carbon emissions.
Are the big players doing this?
They are. Definitely leading the way here. Companies like Google, Amazon, they're making absolutely massive investments in solar and wind farms.
Right.
The goal is to power their data centers, and by extension their AI, entirely with renewables eventually.
And does that make a big difference in terms of emissions?
Oh, a huge difference. Data centers powered mainly by renewable sources can cut their associated carbon emissions by up to 90%.
90%. That's a direct, massive reduction.
It really is. Another vital approach is improving the energy efficiency of the AI infrastructure itself.
Okay, how does that work?
It involves optimizing how data centers run, but also, importantly, using hardware chips specifically designed to do AI tasks using less energy.
So better hardware.
Exactly. Hardware makers are responding. Companies are increasingly adopting these more energy-efficient chips. Think specialized GPUs from NVIDIA or others designed for AI. They can perform the same AI tasks using significantly less power than older chips or general-purpose ones.
And what kind of saving are we talking about there?
Deploying that kind of energy-efficient infrastructure, it can reduce the overall AI-related energy consumption by roughly 30% to 40%.
30 to 40%. That helps the environment and the budget.
Correctly. Both. And then there's a really fascinating idea, using AI itself to help solve its own energy problem.
Using AI to optimize AI energy use.
Precisely. Implementing AI-driven energy optimization, using smart algorithms to manage and fine-tune energy consumption, cooling systems, how workloads are distributed within data centers, all for maximum efficiency.
That sounds powerful. Has it been done successfully?
Yes, famously, Google used its own AI, DeepMind technology, to optimize the cooling in its data centers.
And
They reduced the energy needed just for cooling by up to 40%. That's a huge efficiency gain, just from smarter management driven by AI.
Okay, so these strategies, renewables, efficient hardware, AI optimization, they show there are real, tangible ways using technology and investment available now to tackle this energy challenge.
Exactly. We're not just waiting for some future magic bullet. These are steps organizations can take today.
To make this more concrete, let's maybe look at some real-world outcomes. Where have companies succeeded with this, and maybe where have they struggled?
Good idea. Let's start with a success story. Think about a big global tech company that made a proactive decision early on to shift its entire operation, including all its growing AI compute needs, towards renewable energy.
Okay.
And at the same time, they implemented those advanced AI-driven efficiency improvements across their data centers.
So they went all in on sustainability. What happened?
The results were pretty impressive. They actually achieved carbon neutrality for their operations. They saw a significant drop in operational costs because of the energy savings from efficiency. And overall, they managed to reduce their energy demand by 50%.
50% reduction in demand plus carbon neutral.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the clear lesson there is that sustainable AI deployment isn't just some, nice-to-have environmental goal.
Right.
It's achievable. Proactive investment, optimization. It leads to positive business results and helps the planet. It can actually be a competitive advantage.
Okay, that's the positive side. What about an example where things didn't go so well?
All right, let's picture a different scenario. A rapidly growing fintech startup. They're laser-focused on scaling up their AI-based analytics platform, maybe getting market share quickly.
Okay.
But they didn't really factor in the energy costs properly as they scaled. They underestimated it.
Uh-oh. What was the outcome there?
Well, as they scaled up, their electricity bills for their computing just skyrocketed up by 70%.
70% increase.
Yeah. And the sheer power demand started straining their existing infrastructure. Plus, they pretty quickly faced public criticism from environmental groups who were concerned about their growing carbon footprint.
So real consequences: financial strain, infrastructure problems, bad PR.
Exactly. The lesson learned there is equally stark. You just can't ignore AI's energy demands and hope they go away. It could lead to these unexpected, really dramatic operational costs, significant sustainability issues that can really damage your reputation, and potentially that negative public backlash that hits growth, hits trust.
These examples really drive it home. How organizations approach AI's energy needs, it has very real, very tangible consequences for their money, their operations, their image.
Absolutely. So thinking ahead then, how can organizations kind of future-proof their AI strategies, make sure they're sustainable not just now, but over the long term?
That seems like the crucial next step. What's the advice?
Well, first and foremost, it's critical to integrate sustainability thinking right into your core technology roadmap and into your overall business planning right from the start.
So not as an add-on or an afterthought.
Definitely not. It needs to be treated as a core requirement, just like performance or security.
Makes sense. What else?
Partnering smartly with green technology providers is also really essential. When you're choosing data centers, cloud providers, hardware vendors, prioritize the ones that already show a strong commitment to sustainability.
Right, leverage their investments.
Exactly. Leverage their investments in renewables and efficiency. Make it part of your selection criteria.
Okay. And what about regulations and public opinion?
That's the third key piece. Stay proactive. Anticipate that regulations around environmental impact are likely to tighten globally, and public awareness of technology's footprint is only growing. So addressing sustainability concerns proactively now helps you stay compliant down the road and, crucially, maintains that vital public trust, that social license to operate.
So thinking about sustainability now isn't just about, being green today. It's fundamental for the long-term viability, the resilience, the reputation of your AI initiatives tomorrow.
Couldn't agree more. It's about future-proofing your strategy in a world that is, quite rightly, paying more attention to these impacts.
Okay, so let's try and sum up our conversation today. AI's significant energy requirements. They're not just a technical detail anymore. They represent really substantial, tangible risks for businesses, for society. We're talking environmental impact, rising operational costs, and serious strain on vital infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the challenge side. But as we've explored, this isn't just a story of problems. There are solutions. Proactively embracing sustainable practices, investing in renewables, driving efficiency in your AI infrastructure, that doesn't just mitigate the risks.
Right.
It actually strengthens your long-term business viability, makes you more resilient in a world that's definitely changing.
So, our call to action for you listening is pretty straightforward, really. Take the time now. Evaluate your organization's AI energy footprint. Where does the power come from? How much are you using? Look into implementing those sustainable practices we talked about. Make renewable energy investments where it makes sense. And actively push for energy efficiency optimizations in your AI systems and infrastructure.
And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. The incredible future we all imagine for AI, all the potential benefits. It ultimately hinges on our collective ability to balance this amazing technological leap forward with genuine environmental sustainability.
That's a powerful point.
Proactive management of AI's energy and environmental impact today. It isn't really optional anymore. It's absolutely key if you want to secure responsible, resilient growth for your organization tomorrow.
Well said. And if you found value in this discussion today, please do remember to subscribe to the Technology Risk Podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so you don't miss what's next.